Hi, everybody. Welcome to WCA Extra. Starting a few minutes late today. Peter, it's no secret, very hot out.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where it's actually pretty dangerous for a good amount of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said this morning, we get 90-degree days here a few
Yeah.
times a year, but today we're not just talking 90s, where as a matter of fact, a lot of us going to be in the mid to even upper 90s. We're talking downright tropical dew points and
Yeah.
going to be probably feeling close to, if not above, 100 degrees in a lot of places when you take into account that humidity that we're talking about as well here this afternoon.
I think Burlington, was it the real field temperature? Was it 101?
Yeah, it
something
could
like
be
that?
even probably a touch warmer than that, especially the Champlain Valley. Could be talking about potential
Yeah.
real feels well above the hundreds, maybe even up towards 105. Some places, southern Vermont, could potentially be talking real feels even upwards of 110. Just going to be downright hot and
feel
humid
it. You
here.
feel it in the air.
Yeah, and you know what? You can already start to feel it. The dew points are really building in. As we mentioned, today and tomorrow, first alert weather days, take a look at the high temperatures today, ranging anywhere from 92 to potentially upwards of 98 degrees. Take into account the dew points, 60s and 70s. Once you start talking dew points in the 60s and 70s, that's like Florida level humidity. Definitely got that tropical feel to the air. And then you tack that onto the temperatures. A lot of us going to be talking about heat indices. So what it actually feels like, ranging from 95 potentially to maybe as high as 110 degrees in some places. So again, heat like that, you definitely want to take steps, stay hydrated, and stay cool here through the day today. Champlain Valley, that is actually an extreme heat warning right now up for the Champlain Valley. Away from the Champlain Valley, highlighted in that orange color, that is a heat advisory running from 11 a.m. today until 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Take a look at where we're going temperature-wise today. Notice the Champlain Valley, notice the upper valley extending down towards southern Vermont. A lot of us mid to even upper 90s here for daytime highs. Even away from that, most of us talking about temperatures well into the 90s. Even Saranac Lake, one of the usual cooler spots, going to be talking about temperatures pretty close to that 90-degree mark. And we're already kind of off to the races, most of us climbing through the 70s. And you can see Burlington, Middlebury, Highgate, down towards Brattleboro, already in the 80s. And St. Jay just kind of lagging behind, a little bit of leftover cloud cover for some portions of the Northeast Kingdom. The dew points have really started to surge here over the last several hours. Earlier this morning when I came in, dew points were hanging out in the 60s, so wasn't feeling that bad. But notice once you start talking dew points in the 70s, which a lot of us across the western and central portions of the area are right now, that's really when you start to get that impressive feeling to the air. And again, we're going to hang on to those really just downright uncomfortable dew points today, tomorrow morning, and right through your day on Tuesday. The good news is we do find a little bit of relief later into the week. More details on that coming up. But again, dew points going to be hanging out in the 70s. You take into account the heat and the humidity. Here's what we're going to be feeling like through the afternoon hours today. Notice the Champlain Valley, again, southern Vermont, potentially talking heat indices up above the triple-digit mark, a few above the 100 degrees. Again, away from that, most of us still talking heat indices mid to upper 90s. I wish I could tell you it's just today, but even into your day tomorrow. Again, notice the Champlain Valley, notice the upper valley extending down I-91 into southern Vermont, talking heat indices above the 100 degree mark. And again, even away from that, heat indices generally in the mid to upper 90s. So again, what it's feeling like out there, just very sticky and uncomfortable, and yeah, downright hot in a lot of locations. The good news is, weather-wise, we're pretty quiet out there. Most of us waking up to a good deal of sunshine. We did have some morning clouds and fog out there. Any leftover cloud cover, especially out across the Northeast Kingdom, should gradually begin to burn off here as we head through the rest of the day today. The fog situation, visibility greatly improved from where we were this morning. Here's how the rest of the afternoon shapes up. It's generally a good deal of sunshine here through the second half of the day today. We'll keep the clear skies going tonight into your day tomorrow. Basically more sunshine here through Tuesday afternoon. Notice as we start to head into tomorrow evening, though, a few isolated showers, a few isolated thunderstorms starting to kind of bubble up here and there in nature through the afternoon and evening hours for the day tomorrow. Any of those thunderstorms that do bubble up could potentially be on the stronger side. The storm Storm Prediction Center does have us under a level 1 out of 5 risk here for severe weather. Again, that through your day tomorrow. But again, I've said it a couple times here, severe weather and really thunderstorms as a whole here for the day tomorrow. Very, very isolated in nature, just kind of bubbling up sporadically here and there through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. It's today and it's tomorrow that we're dealing with the extreme heat out there. Wednesday, we're back down into the 80s. Notice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, though, back down into the 70s here for daytime highs. That's actually a bit below where we should be for this time of year. Normal high right now sitting at 80 degrees. That's also when we find the relief from the humidity as well. Again, today and tomorrow, dew points in the 60s and 70s. That tropical-like feeling to the air. Improvements, though, as we head towards midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Dew points sliding back into the 50s, and that's back into the comfortable territory. Here's your forecast, though, for the rest of the day today. It is a hazy, hot, and humid day out there. Temperatures for all of us, basically all of us meeting or exceeding that 90-degree mark, even some mid to potentially upper 90s. You take into account that humidity, real feel close to, if not above, the 100-degree mark in a lot of locations. Not going to even really find all that much relief tonight. Tonight we fall back into the 70s. Stepping out the door tomorrow morning, you're going to notice that the humidity just hits you like a brick wall tomorrow morning. Going to feel very warm, feel very, very muggy here to start off the day tomorrow. And again, tomorrow afternoon, right back to the warm side of things once again. Temperatures maybe a hair or two cooler here tomorrow afternoon, but again, most of us still talking temperatures well into the 90s here for tomorrow afternoon. So, first alert weather days in place for both today and tomorrow. Wednesday, we start to find a little bit of relief. Temperatures falling through the 90s and back into the 80s. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, chance at a few rain showers out there. Temperatures cooling off as well, back into the mid and upper 70s. The 70s here to close this week, definitely going to feel a whole lot more comfortable than the mid to upper 90s that we're talking about here to start off the day today.
No, I think it'll feel cold.
Drastic.
Probably at that point, yeah. But I do think today, obviously it's a good reminder, older adults,
yes,
kids, pets, anyone, just take some extra precautions here.
You want to take some extra precautions.
Yeah.
Make sure you're staying cool and make sure you're staying hydrated.
Yeah.
Again, especially today, like today, you can lose that, water content in your body real quickly. So you want to make sure you stay hydrated and stay aware.
Yeah, I feel like I'm usually pretty bad about it, but today, definitely really, really important to, especially if you're outside too. But yeah, of course, we have that too, and we also have some resources for cooling shelters all across, Vermont, New York, and New Hampshire will be getting up there shortly. So I think, good things to keep in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. I think that's for us here on WCAX. Of course, see us again at noon. The WCAX weather app.
Yep, a very good reminder to have.
Yeah.
Tell you just how hot we're getting, and you know what? Also has the full 7-day forecast for no matter where you are.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, Peter. I think that's for us here. We'll see you at noon.